Right guys, so I'm going to attempt to show you how to do lamp transistor faults on JPM impacts. So in front of me I've got a box here. I haven't actually opened it yet, so I don't entirely know the contents and whether the person that sent it me, a good mate of mine, Wayne, has even labelled up what's what. But there's 3 boards in it. One is a scrapper. I probably have labelled him. He's very good for this for me. Okay, so we've got scrap board donor, even coming a anti-static for me, and then we've got one that says fully working, no alpha, and then we've got another one which says bulb fault, and when inserting 20p's it sometimes doesn't credit and alarms code 1.3. Right, okay, not going to tackle in this video the fault that it's got with 20p's, but what I will tackle in this video is showing you how to do, hopefully, the lamp transistor fault. So somebody did ask me to do it, and I'm gonna basically show you how, and hopefully I'll I'll probably pause it and come back at times, but I'll actually show you hopefully everything. So I've set up a little tripod here. So we've currently got a board here. Okay, so that is, if you could quite close up on that just to show you, a little bit dirty. Now the area that we're looking at on the board here is here. So you have a big bank of transistors here and you have a bank of resistors. Now normally when this goes wrong, what you will find on here is you will find one of these won't behave the same as the other ones. So what I'm going to do, multimeter I've put into continuity, so buzz test basically. Okay, so that's what happens. Now, if I was trying to show you rather than put my hands in the way, if I meter from one point to another, so I'm literally metering from the bottom of the resistor up to the top of the resistor, so one on one side, one on the other, it should, if it's working correctly, buzz. So I'll start from the end. That buzzes. That buzzes. That buzzes. That buzzes. That buzzes. That's buzzing. Be annoying if they all work. They all work. Ironic, isn't it? Yeah, so all of them appear to be working. Let's go through them again. Yeah, they're all working, aren't they? Which is bad news because it makes the job the task a little bit harder. Yeah, they are all buzzing. So the actual resistors, normally, if the transistor's gone, the resistor will also be gone. Now, that unfortunately isn't the case. We have another potential issue that here and here, those are your pre-drives. So often, if a bank goes out, often it's this rather than this area. But it is potentially going to be in that area. Right, so I'm going to flip it over. And hopefully, let's just get it the right way around so we can see it. So on the back here, what we've got is those are all of your transistors, and that's the back end of the resistors on the other side. So what I need to now is meter is from the middle to both sides, and you can meter across. And what I'm going to look for here is one misbehaving or behaving differently. So let's just So we know that the red plug, the red one has to go onto the middle, and then the black one can go either side. And if you look there, you're going to get 2 different readings. So I'm getting readings on these of sort of 500 and something and 600 and something. So what I'm going to do is, all I'm going to do now is, I appreciate you might not be able to see. That's me showing you again, so just look at the meter. I'm going to just walk up now, and all I'm looking for one behaving significantly differently, or giving no reading. These two have been done before at some point. That's working. It's working. And I'm just going to walk up them. And that's literally all I'm doing. I hope you can see what's going on here. If you can't, I'm sorry. It's the first time I've tried to do this for people. And we're almost at the end now. And they all appear on that side to be reading correctly. And now all I'm going to do is exactly the same, but I'm just going to come up the other side. Probably going to see this slightly better, I think. So all I'm going to do is come up. So that one's reading 620, 680, 611. I'm just looking for something that's significantly different. That's all you're doing, is looking for something that is significantly different or giving no reading at all. Reading. These two don't look clever, by the way. They've been changed in the past. They don't look clever. Well, they're all giving readings, which is slightly annoying because it's going to make this video not as easy to do. Right, that's a bit lower. So you have a look there, look. That's reading 630. That one's reading sort of 596. So that is significantly lower. There you go, on the one next to it, 620, 630, 620. So 1, 2, 3. That one, I would say. So 1, 2, 3. The fourth one down is the one causing me problems there. I think it's actually the fifth one down, so I think that one at the top, if we go to there, is going to read the same. Maybe not. Maybe not. I'll tell you how you tell. You just buzz from the leg. Yeah. Yeah, it is the same. Let's just check that end one as well. Hold on, red did it the right way around. That's okay. And then that should read 6 something. Yeah, maybe a little bit suspect as well, a little bit lower. So yeah, it's the fifth one down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we know on that we're getting a reading less than 600. We know there's potentially an issue with that one. I'm probably going to go ahead and change a few. And let me show you why I'm going to change more than just that. So that one's it's a bit crusty. There, for example, it's a little bit crusty. It's been done before that. These two have been done, but they don't look very good. It's not been done very well. So I'm going to change the one that I know is bad. So I'm going to swap that out, and I'm going to probably have a look at swapping definitely that one out as well, because it's reading differently. So now I've done that part. You should be able to see in the background I have got my iron. So literally what I'm going to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, so we know it's U. I'm just getting my solder sucker on there. All I'm going to do is just suck the solder out from around it, and then around the rest of it, so I know that I'm going down to here. It might take a couple of goes just to get the solder, and sometimes you may need to get a bit of fresh solder at it. That's moving. They will have got warm over time as well. So that one's okay. And all you're doing is you're just using your iron just to wiggle a little bit backwards and forwards. Now, what I like to do to avoid damaging any traces anywhere once I'm doing it is I will just get a bit of fresh solder if they're not coming out properly, and I'll just lay a bit of fresh solder down, and then I'll literally just suck the solder back out again. There you go, you should have that click now. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to attach it to a trace and damage a trace. And obviously I'm being a bit more, so I'm not careful as such, but I'm taking my time a lot more than I will do normally doing them. Just purely because I'm doing it on camera. Right, they're all moving. They appear to be moving. And the solder will go through the holes and down into the actual transistor. So now, should, if I can find it, 1, 2, 3, 4. Normally it's a bit warmer than the others. I should just be able to sort of wiggle it a bit. Now it's not moving. Let me get a knife just to work the legs a little bit. Yeah, that's still sticking a little bit. They sometimes will come out dead clean, and then other times they'll be a bit of a pain in the backside, and then they'll just hang on. I mean, often you'll literally just get the legs straight out. There are other ways of doing it. I mean, so I like to put a bit of fresh solder down just to help work them out. You can use a couple of different methods. You can lay some flux down. That's moving now. You can lay a bit of flux down. There we go, we're out now. We're out. There we go. Right, so that is... Let's try that together. So that is that transistor is now out. Okay, now I can test it out circuit, but I mean with these it's probably not worth it. And then where we are now is obviously I've got that one out. I'm going to take that top one as well because I'm not particularly happy with the solder. Like somebody's done this relatively recent and just not done a very nice clean job of it. I mean by fairly recent this could be within the last sort of 5 years. And you can tell by one thing that it has started to come out. Let's just find that one. An awful lot easier than the other one that I've just done. And that's purely down to the fact that the solder's a lot fresher that's on it. There we go. And that's that one. That's that one off now. So I've got them off. What I'm going to do now, so just to double check them, I will just check the corresponding. So that one there, yeah, it's definitely buzzing okay. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is that one. That's fine. I did do a video where I ended up changing a lamp transistor, if you remember, not that long ago. When I changed it, what you did find was with naked eye, they all look pretty clean and okay. I mean that one there's actually the darkest, which is the fourth one down, which isn't no readings are incorrect on that one at all. But the one that I did last time, I looked at the video afterwards and I was a little bit horrified. I was like, ew, I should have just changed that instead of sending it back to the guy. But I mean it was buzzing and he's not complained of anything since. So I mean I'm suggesting that it's all right. Anyway, so I'm going to pause this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you back with a couple of new transistors and just show you me putting them in. Okay, and that's pretty much going to be done. I made a slight error in trying to actually put a transistor through. So obviously I've put the first one in. I don't know if you can quite see it past the bank of there. So I've put this one in. Right, okay, so spin it over and show you. So you should be able to clearly feel or see that your 3 legs have all gone through. I mean, of course, nice easy way to do it is just get a knife and just flick it against them and just check that they're through. In better light, because it's getting dark out. You'll be able to dead clearly see it. Hopefully you can camera, but all I'm now going to do is just bend the pins to the outer legs so that it keeps it in position. So it shouldn't move now. And then all I'm going to do now is lay some fresh solder down. So literally going to solder up a leg, solder up another leg, and solder up a third leg. I don't know if you can see me soldering. Hopefully you can do. So literally all I do when I'm soldering is I just put it behind the pin and I just literally feed the solder in from the other side. And then that's just how I do it pretty quickly. Now, the acid test for it, for me, you won't be able to see it, as I will just hold it up to a light just to make sure that I've got no holes. And unfortunately, like, you can't see this, but the only holes I can see are the 3 there. So I know that all of those are nicely through. And I've done quite a neat job, really. I've not done bad, have I? There's a little bit of suspect area here, by the way, on one of the big transistors. These very rarely go wrong on these machines. But somebody again's done some work. It's probably been a bit of corrosion in the past. I can tell I didn't do this board because normally if I've done the board, I'll sign it down in the bottom corner here in black pen, so you'll know that I've done it. So I haven't done that one. So now what next job is, obviously I'm going to feed in the other one, which is a slightly more difficult place in here. I'm going to feed that in, and I'm going to solder that up as well. You don't need to see that. Okay, so see, there's carnage out here. It's really, really cold out here today as well. So I just show you, this is the card that I've done that you just saw me do on the table. Now I have got, I mean that's 5mm wedge, so that just needs a new 5. I've got 5mm. I'm actually out of 10mm. As you can see, every lamp is on. They're on as well. I've played this, by the way, this morning very briefly, as you can see by the cache pot. So it's on a RAM reset because I don't think there's even a battery on the processor card, or I just use it for testing a lot of the time anyway. So as you can see, there are still a couple of bulbs out, but I just haven't got any 10mm wedge bulbs. They've all been used in various machines that have gone places, so I need to get some more ordered at some point. However, as you can see, so his initial complaint, by the way, was, and I will just show you, I appreciate it's a bit dark in here, by the way. So hold on. So his initial, I ain't got a root and plug, doesn't help. Hold on, let me open bottom. We're not very well prepared here, are we? Just have to move all this stuff. I've got stuff everywhere. That's where my sound card is for it. Right, just put you down 1 second. Shut this back, well, shut it back up, put it back together. Right, so I mean I've got a war chest of 20p's now. Let's just shut this down, and it should boot up. The bottom door, by the way, that's on it. I got it off another machine, so it doesn't actually know that door's shut. It's tape shut, I think. But I need to cut it down at some point, which I haven't got around to doing it. So his initial complaint was, and you see I've been playing with 20p's, the acceptance on this mech is not brilliant at 20p's, unfortunately. Yeah. So his initial complaint was that it set an alarm off when you put 20p's in some of the time. And then fix that. A couple of quid. There's no sound card on it, so you're not going to get any sound. But as we can see, we have got a fully running impact board now, which it was already fully working, but obviously the lights out, and then had a little error. It'll have been an error on the switch selects line, probably. There's a couple of ICs that control that, and it usually is caused by something like that. So all your coins run through U8 on these. Anyway, no, it's not as good without sound, but anyway, done. Right, so that's that one sorted. I'm gonna leave it on. I've just sent him a message and said I'll leave it on for a good hour or so, just to make sure. If it lasts an hour, they'll last forever. Like, they don't. You know, an hour's a good length of time to finger it, and then obviously by playing it, if it RAM resets, they'll drop back down to 120 and 80 again. But that looks good. Plus I want to warm it up in here because it's freezing cold today. So yeah, day off from work, still working.